Hello. Yo.
Yo, what up?
Yo. How you doing?
I am doing all right. What's going on with you?
Dude, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
We're not troubleshooting for 50 minutes before we start. I like
Wait,
this.
we're not? What?
It seems like we're good to go. I actually was
I,
like listening. I clicked on the episode from last time, and
yeah.
the intro is so funny because we're just like
Is
both
it?
like, yeah, we're both frustrated and cursing, and then I'm like, all right, we got 10 minutes, and you're just like, no, we can go to 420. You're like, Alexa, set the timer. And I'm just like, oh, wow. All right. I guess we're gonna actually make this thing happen.
On a
And then
time crunch.
yeah. But then the transition from like frustration to being like, oh, we're professionals. But no,
Gotta
it
love
was
it.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
How are you,
gotta
dude?
love it.
You had shoulder surgery?
I did. So actually 1 week ago today. So I am so the viewers can't see it, but my left arm is in a sling.
Oh.
And yeah, so I had 7 millimeters shaved off of my clavicle to give my so like yeah for those people that don't know the metric system, 7 millimeters is a little more than a quarter inch of my, so
Interesting.
a quarter inch of my clavicle got shaved off like right by my shoulder, um just to give my, like, so my AC joint was like super tight,
Yeah.
and like there was basically no space there, and so I like bone was just rubbing against bone, and that's been going on for a long time. So I've had shoulder issues for, you know more than, that's really been affecting my performance for more than 2 years. And like last year we were trying to control it with some pretty strong anti-inflammatories. And then we were also doing like cortisone injections and PRP injections. And so PRP is like it's platelet rich plasma. So
Right.
you draw your own blood, and then you spin it in this centrifuge type thing to get the platelet rich plasma. And then you inject that plasma, those platelets, back into the injury site, and the idea is that it'll help stimulate, regenerate growth and all that. But all of that stuff, basically didn't work, didn't give me a whole lot of pain relief, and so the next step was surgery. And so since we are about a year and about a year and a half from the Paralympic Games, we were like, we got to do this now if I want to have a chance at, you know doing well at the games. We know that I can muscle through and grit my teeth through this pain, but if I want to take that next step and, get that, get that medal position at the games, we need to get this fixed. And so yeah, so it was not an easy decision, but because it hit the pause button on the start of my racing season. So,
Right.
but yeah, so fun times.
Well,
So
you seem like a guy who can afford to lose a few millimeters off your clavicle.
totally, man, totally.
Yeah. 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 Large clavicle kind of guy. But
Yeah,
how did
totally.
it go? How did the process, like surgery, go? It was, I know, you're in recovery right now because it's only a week out, but they said
Yeah,
it all went well.
yeah. I mean, the surgery itself only took like 45 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, modern medicine, dude, it's pretty amazing. Um, no, man, it was from what the from, I mean, granted, it was, I woke up and the the doc was like, yeah, everything went well. So I was, high on, who knows
Ooh.
what. Um,
Were you out?
but
So you were totally out for it. It wasn't local anesthesia.
oh yeah, dude, yeah, dude. I mean, they cut like 5 little holes in my shoulder and like stuck a little stuck a little camera in there, and like, I mean, like they got a, they were, shaving bone. They were trimming up my rotator cuff. Like they did a few different things in there. They actually removed a couple of cysts from inside of my shoulder as well. So yeah, no, it was not it's not like, yeah, here's some Novocaine and we're gonna pull a tooth out. No, it's not like that.
Dude, when I had surgery on my hand, they were shaving bone. They put a screw in and everything in my metacarpal, and I wasn't out for that. That was just local anesthesia.
Yeah, but for a major like this, like even though this is a relatively minor
Yeah.
surgery, it's still considered like a major surgery. So like they gave like the nerve block that they did, like they gave me a shot in my neck to numb, basically to give me a nerve block in my
Wow.
shoulder. So but yeah, that was awesome. But no,
You
it
had
was
it done?
actually it was but sorry, it was really funny. My anesthesiologist was awesome. Like he comes walking into my little pre-op bay area, and he's like chewing on a peppermint, and like he shakes my hand. He's like, sorry, I'm you know chewing on a piece of candy, and I'm like, yeah, doc, just rub it in, because at this point I haven't been allowed to eat for like 13, 14 hours. And
Right.
he's like, oh, I'm sorry, how was your breakfast this morning? Like, dick.
Yeah.
But no,
How was
he was awesome. So
the pain like once the anesthesia wore off from the surgery?
that's the funny thing. So like, so they prescribed me Narco, which is
Mhm.
basically Percocet.
Mhm.
It's a form of Percocet, and I hate like, so I have a really addictive personality, so I hate the idea of taking narcotics for pain.
Me
Like
too, man.
I have never taken narcotics for pain ever.
Have you
Um,
taken them for fun?
no, I have not. So actually my coach and I joke all the time. My coach says, he's like, I know that I'm never gonna try cocaine because I know I'll like it too much.
I don't know, man. I hear that all the time. I feel like people are saying that kind of stuff is almost a cop
Yeah.
out to try things.
Yeah. So
Because so many people are like, I have such an addictive personality, and then I'm like, oh well, what have you done? And they're like, I had a whiskey the other day. I'm like, okay, you don't know anything.
yeah, 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 but for me, I know this about myself. I have, like, I've been that person who,
Yeah.
you know, if I'm not exercising, then I'm
Mhm.
reaching for something else to fill that void, whether it
Yeah,
be,
yeah, for sure.
buying a 5-pound box of Twizzlers and 5-pound box of peanut M&Ms and filling, that void with that, or, buying, a few bottles of whiskey and drinking those until they're gone, or,
Yeah.
anything like that. So like, I know this about myself, and I know that, um, I hate the idea of taking narcotics for pain. And
Yeah.
so so they gave me this prescription to fill, and I was like, screw it, I'm not going to fill this thing, and I'm just gonna, like, I've been in pain for so long, I'm just gonna
Right.
grit my teeth. I'm gonna grit my teeth through this pain.
And
Dude,
then,
I have had zero pain since before the surgery.
oh really?
I have had no pain. Like,
So
no
you didn't
pain.
even have pain from like the actual surgery itself, like no pain from the cutting into into your shoulder.
Nope. Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. Like, the nerve block they gave me did so well. It lasted for like 3+ days. And
Are you
then, like,
serious?
yeah, so like the nerve block lasted like until like Sunday night. So I had the surgery on like Thursday afternoon, and the nerve block itself, like, I finally got like feeling, like skin feeling in my, like the like that sensation of like touching your skin. I got
Uh-huh.
that feeling back probably on like Monday. Um and but like, anytime, like, like anytime I touched my shoulder, like, cause my
Couldn't
shoulders,
feel
like,
anything. Yeah.
I cause like, if just for me, like I like, it's just always been like this constant pain just radiating from my shoulder for so long that, well, now there's space in my AC joint, and like there's literally no pain there. And so I mean, so I've been taking like Advil and Tylenol. I've been on like an Advil Tylenol
Yeah.
regimen. Like every 6 or so hours, I take like, a couple of Advil and a Tylenol just to, you know to kind of keep the inflammation down. And and the Tylenol I'm taking is like 100 milligrams. It's nothing.
Mhm.
Um, so, but yeah, even when I've missed the Advil and Tylenol regimen, like, because I'll miss it occasionally,
Yeah.
and like I'll go 8 or 10 hours without taking something, still no pain. Like there's a little bit of soreness in my shoulder, but it's like there's not like pain. So I'm so glad that I did not, and everyone was telling me like, oh, you're gonna be in so much pain, you're gonna be in so much pain. It's like, I have where's the pain? Like I'm still like, it's a week. I'm a week removed from the surgery. I'm still like, where's my pain? Like,
Dude, honestly, people like to have that excuse to do drugs for a week too.
and that's kind of what
I
I'm
really
thinking.
believe that. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
people are like, "Oh, I gotta take this." They're prescribing me too, and then people are like, "I gotta refill it," and then, oh my god, getting off of that is hell. Like getting off of Percocet or any of those things, because you'll get, I mean, based off of like being on the morphine during surgery and all that. I mean, you get hooked on that way
God,
too
yeah.
quickly, way too
Oh yeah.
quickly. It's
Oh
crazy,
yeah. Yeah, it's
dude.
insane. And so, yeah, I am so glad that I did not fill that prescription, and I'm so glad that I can
Were
still,
you
I can still
were
say that
you
I haven't had to take it.
were you afraid ever of like the lack of feeling in your nerves in your shoulder? Like I know you're somebody who definitely trusts doctors probably even more than I do. But at the same time, like were you ever afraid of like, oh hey, I'm not feeling anything in my shoulder? Is because there's sometimes some freak stories of like never getting feeling back in the place that they had surgery, like you had surgery.
There's a little bit of that. Like, I mean, when you're 4 or 5 days removed, when you're like 4 days removed from surgery, and you're like, I still have no feeling there. It's a little freaky. But like I've had so many surgeries over the years, and I've had like, so many, and like nerves do regrow. They just regrow very slowly. Um, so like I had this inkling that it's like, okay, just give it time. Um, but at the same time, like, they were also telling me in the, when they gave me the nerve block, they're like, yeah, we expect this to last, this could last up to 72 hours, but usually it only lasts for like 24 to 36 according to our patients. And, it just depends on how, good like how quickly you metabolize it. And so like when you're 3 days into after having a nerve block, I'm like, I'm supposed to be an elite athlete. Does this mean my metabolism sucks?
Yeah. No, that would freak me out. They told me I was gonna get my
uh,
feeling back in my hand in like 4 hours or so, and I'm like
yeah,
riding back on like the train or the tube, because
yeah,
I had it done in London, and
yeah,
I was like riding back, and I still hadn't had no feeling in my hand for like, and it's like 6 hours later, 8 hours later, and I'm like calling the doctor. I'm like, am I ever gonna have feeling in my hand again? Because at this point,
yeah,
I'm like, I'll never play guitar again. Like I didn't think I was gonna be able to play, but now you fixed my hand. I'm like, why can't I feel my hand? And then like as I'm like hanging up, I'm like starting to feel it, some feeling come back
yep,
to my hand. I'm like, oh no, this is horrible. Cause like as
yeah,
soon as I could feel it, it was like the pain of the surgery.
yeah,
And basically, I mean, from everything you just described, I'm just a wimp. And it was it was horrendous, dude. It was literally like I'm like in the bathroom as the I could feel my hand completely come back, and I'm just like pounding the walls. Like I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna do the same thing to my other hand.
that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah. Next thing you know, I
but
bashed my head.
but yeah. So, so nah, I mean, like, you know, I like I said, I've gone into, I've had so many different operations, and I've been cut open so many times, and put to sleep and brought back to life and all that. There's always there's always that that tiny little bit of you, like when you're rolling back into the OR, you're like, well, this could be the
This one's
last
gonna be the
time.
one. Yeah, this is the one here.
This is it.
Yeah, I mean, how many
Get a good
chances do you
sleep.
get? Yeah, like,
Yeah, yeah, but no, I've been really, really, really lucky and really fortunate that um you know I don't just let anyone cut me open and operate on me. Like I mean, I literally have I mean, I have the best surgeon. We do our research, and we go to the best surgeons, we go to the best the best specialists and all that. And
was this
and
done in
then
Colorado?
yeah, so it was here in Colorado Springs. And I you know the benefits of being a high performing athlete, living at the Olympic Training Center. You have we have access to like the best orthopedic
Yeah.
doctors in in the world. And um and then we also have I'm in physical therapy 5 days a week. And like I've got my strength coach like was at one point was in charge of like the Golden State Warriors rehab program. And like brought Steph Curry back from his like crazy ankle and knee injury that he had very early on in his career. And all this different stuff. So like I've got like a wicked amazing team of people around me to help get me back to full strength. And
Nice.
so it's so I'm really, really lucky and fortunate that I've got such a great team. And we didn't go into the surgery flippantly, and like it was a serious discussion, and it was a group decision. But at the end of the day, it was my decision to go in and be like, I'm tired of just this constant pain. And like this is the first, and like I said, I've literally had no discomfort or pain since the surgery, which is just insane to me.
That is wild. Well, all of your competition now needs to watch out because you're going to be a merman in like the next 4 months. It's going to be ridiculous because this was really just affecting your swimming, right?
It was affecting my swimming, but like, the arm swing on the run,
Right.
could definitely be affected. I mean, like my strength training was affected.
For sure.
My sleep was affected. Because so like you think about it, and like there's like just one little thing, can cascade and affect your mind and your mental ability. and
Totally.
so and so like my coach and I were talking about it, and he was like, even if you don't, he's like, even if we don't get you to where you're swimming fast, like even if we just get you back to where you were swimming, what you were swimming with this bone rubbing on bone. So like even if we get you back to where you're swimming 11 minutes and 45 seconds, now instead of that 11 minutes and 45 seconds costing you $85, it's costing you $20.
Right.
So it's
No, I
it's a
totally get
lot.
that.
And so now, what kind of mental energy, what kind of other physical energy do you have to give on the
The other
bike and the
things.
on the bike and the run? And then like, so now that we're not spending all of this mental capital on just trying to grit through, um how will that now affect my sleep, which will then affect my recovery, and all that. So like, there's huge potential, um which is amazing. Like, we had to take 5-6 steps back, backward, because I'm going to lose basically a month and a half of really dedicated training. as I heal from this surgery. But looking long term, over the course of the next, well, I say, long term in terms of, Paralympic performance, next year, this could elevate me to a whole new level, which is really, really exciting. And then looking really long term post, post athletic career, this could just, this has potential to just give me a much higher quality of life after my sporting career ends. So
You'll be swimming and sleeping with a smile now.
something like that, instead of a smile, instead of a grimace. There's a very small difference between those two, but the difference matters.
You just can't get too out of shape in this month.
Yeah, I've already gained like 10 pounds in a week. A little too much ice. So my dad came down and was like, because I'm one-handed for right now. So my dad came down to Colorado Springs and was like helping me with like my dog, and had to help me like get dressed and do like just day-to-day things until I kind of got till I got the feel of getting doing stuff one-handed. And so he left yesterday, so I'm flying solo now, and I'm managing pretty well with the one hand. But
you gained 10 pounds with some ice cream?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I believe it's like, isn't it like 3,600 calories over maintenance is 1 pound? So you ate 15 gallons of ice cream.
That sounds about right. I mean, ice cream plus all the other food I was, eating, because like, the appetite, doesn't go. I mean, remember, I was used to working out for 3 to 5 hours a day.
That doesn't leave you. You're telling me that appetite doesn't leave you if you don't work out 3 hours a day?
No, it does not leave me.
Dude, that's shocking to me, because if I don't work out, I genuinely don't feel hungry.
I wish I had that problem.
I really don't. Like, if I last week the gym was closed Thursday and Friday because they put new turf in the gym. We'll talk about that in a minute. And it's bad. But they because those 2 days, like I just didn't do anything. I was like, oh, I'll just like take a little rest day. And it's crazy. Like I feel hungry after the gym, and that's what like starts my hunger for the rest of the day, and then gives me like the feeling of like, oh, you can eat at nighttime too because you're going to work out in the morning. But if I'm not, I just don't feel like I deserve food. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, food is like, I love food. Like I love food. Like I will stuff my face. Like,
same here.
All
I just
the
don't
time.
feel like I just don't feel like I earned it.
And like for me, like food is not a reward kind of thing. Like I like for me, like food is food. Like, man, I freaking love food. Like, so like to me, like, it's not a like, I didn't earn this, so I shouldn't eat it. It's just, it's that kind of thing. So, for me, I mean, I love to eat, and it's more of a habit. It's more of a habit thing than anything. But fortunately, yesterday they let me get on the recumbent bike, and so I was able to at least spin my legs for an hour, and then right after my PT session today, I'll go ride I'll do a 1 hour ride on the recumbent bike, and then gonna start doing the recumbent bike like two times a day, like once in the morning, once at the end of the day, kind of deal.
Nice.
And then hopefully tomorrow, they'll clear me to do lower body strength work. So my strength coach will has a plan for lots of seated leg presses and leg curls and leg extensions and all that, to so that we're doing lower body stuff without disrupting the shoulder. So
yeah, no jumping for a while.
yeah, no jumping or running for like 4 weeks or something ridiculous like that. So
But yeah, man, back to the turf because I do want to tell
Yeah,
you
yeah,
this.
yeah.
It's
Let's hear about you. I'm tired of talking about me.
I've been enjoying this, so I appreciate the inside scoop on the clavicle. But dude, so about 5 months ago at my gym, there's like 60 yards of turf, which is really
Okay.
nice. It's nice to have that for me, especially because like I don't it's been the way that I've been able to like run freely has been on this turf for a long time because I've been going there for like 6 years. And so about 5 months ago, they're like, this turf has been there forever. And they're like, we really need to get rid of it and
Hmm.
get some new turf in there. And the turf has been green for as long as I've been going there.
Yeah.
And there's so for me, dude, like the, I rely a lot on contrast. Like
Yeah.
contrast for me is it's my cop out, dude. It's my it's my best friend. It
Yeah.
literally like lights, colors, contrast
Yeah.
is like being able to tell what's in front of me on the floor.
Yeah.
I like like with you not having to deal with the pain medication, I'm a bit wimpy even when it comes to going into a situation and not having contrast. I just haven't had to deal with it like the way you have had to your whole life, or since
Understood.
you yeah. um so the green with the black weights, the black power racks, everything, it's even people running on the turf, like I can tell when somebody's like running towards me, like
Yeah.
the
It lets you know where you are and you're spatially. So
totally.
yeah,
And
I get you.
even dude, even like it feels like my home away from home. This
Yeah.
gym, like I can go there. It's a huge warehouse too. Like it's probably 20,000 square feet. And I can walk around. I can walk to the lobby, walk to the bathroom. Like I basically walk around the place like I own it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could take if I wasn't married, I could take a brand new date there and be like, yo, you want to check my gym out and not be insecure about it. Not be like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy's got a problem.
Totally.
So about 5 months ago, they told me they were putting new turf in, and I said, "Oh, cool! Like that'll be great." Hey, by the way, if there's any chance, because I've heard some rumors, like I heard some rumors 5 months ago that you guys are gonna put all black turf in, and
Oh
I just
no.
said, I said, I'm pretty loyal here. I go, is there any chance, like, you know, could you just not have it be black? Like any other color that there's contrast? And they heard me out, dude. They were like, absolutely. Thank you so much for bringing it to our attention. Like that's like we wouldn't do that to you kind of thing. Was
Yeah.
the and I talked to, trainer, owners, like everybody.
Yeah.
So it was almost like the project was put on hold for a while, and I didn't know if it was because I said something or like just financially, like they just weren't able to pull the trigger at that point because it was a big job.
Yeah.
And so about 5 months go by, and then on the schedule, it's like the gym is closed last week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and I was like,
Hmm.
oh, why? And they're like, oh, we're finally getting the new turf, and I just go, oh, what color did you guys decide? And they're just like black.
Oh.
And and I literally thought that they were fucking with me. Like I was just like, "Oh, ha 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 ha." ha. And they're like, "No, no, no, really. Like that's what we went with." And I was so last week I mean very much in my head just being like I mean, A, did they just forget? Uh B, are they trying to get rid of me because I'm like a liability? Like, I mean, my mind went to everything. Like,
Yeah.
are they just trying to get me to like just bounce? Like, because I mean, I mean, like the anger I'm sure you've experienced with your shoulder. I was just like, damn, like if this doesn't work for me, because I would be motivated to do the same workouts, like give myself just as hard of a push on my own, like get like a power rack, get whatever I need, just do it on my own, not have to like walk into a place and be
Sure.
tiptoeing around and not knowing if I'm about to walk on somebody's face or not. Like and so like last week I was pretty bummed out. I was just like, damn, this is going to potentially ruin my happy place. And it was so yeah, they put it in last Thursday,
Hmm.
Friday, Saturday, and then Monday it was like the first. And granted, I will say, I'll give a positive right off the bat. It
Yeah.
is very nice turf, like the turf that they used to
Yeah,
have. Like you would come home with like beads and like your boxers. Like it was like literally like it was a mess. Like the stuff that they had before, and now it's just like the most quality turf I've ever felt. I will give it
nice,
that. But
nice.
so I walk in Monday, and it was very challenging. It is black. There's white lines to tell, like, where the, like, the every 5 yards kind of thing,
Yep,
which is
yep.
nice. But everything, dude, they so they had a bunch of sleds and prowlers also that were blue. They
Uh,
even they even painted those black.
oh no.
So all of the weights are black, the power racks are black, the floor is black when there isn't black turf, which gets connected to the black turf. All of the sleds are now black. They put black padding also on their white walls.
Um, like this. I mean,
Um,
in all
so
in all seriousness, like you
yeah,
could potentially go to them and say, look, that actually is an ADA, like
dude, that's so funny. It's so funny you say that, because this woman who I work out with,
that's an
who,
ADA liability right there.
dude, she literally is like a mama bear. Like she's so sweet. I love her.
Yeah.
She was her and her husband were actually at my wedding that you were at. And
Yes, I was.
dude, because everybody could kind of feel my frustrations last week.
Yeah.
And dude, she like she like bounced like during one of her workouts, just went to the front and like totally like went to bat for me. And she's like, I just want to let you
Oh,
know, like, I talked to them and they're gonna talk to you and see if there's anything that they can do. And I also, she goes, I got a little mean. I even brought up the ADA, and I was like, oh no.
yeah.
because
But
because like
and,
dude,
you know, again, like you tried to. So
yes,
this is my frustration with this
yes,
kind of stuff, is that you tried to build this in from the beginning, and
right off the
then
bat, yes.
right off the bat, which is what you're supposed to do. And
Mhm.
then, whether, who knows why the decisions are made the way they're
Right,
made, but it's so much harder and it's so much more expensive to go back and try and fix something
right,
than it winds up costing you long, like it costs you more money, more time, more energy, more resources to fix something than it is to just get it right from the beginning. And that's and that is and I learned that with my shoulder. You like, I mean, think about it this way, if you're composing a piece of music, and you're like, it's a whole lot harder to go and fix a piece of music
yeah.
than it is to just play the damn thing right the first time. There's a little bit more wiggle room because music is interpretation and all that. But
No, but I know
yeah,
what you mean, though, for
but
sure.
but yeah, like how much time do we spend in the editing process
Right.
of music? Whereas, like, when the last time I was in a recording studio, I was one of those those guys. I was such a perfectionist that they were it was a one take Timmy situation.
Yeah. You're
But
just perfect. I get it.
no. But I'm not. But I'm not perfect. It's been 10 years since I've been in a recording studio, bro. So calm down. um, it would not be the case. It would not be the case when we get into the recording studio, whenever we finally do. But and so that's and look, I learned that with my shoulder as well. So, like, the one of the reasons behind why one of the reasons why my shoulder is was so messed up to the last couple of years was because about at the end of 2011 I was coaching at a wrestling camp, and one of the campers was I was doing a live session, and the a camper slammed me on my left shoulder, and
Mm.
I was a poor college kid. I did not go and get it looked at by a doctor, or get x-rays or anything like that. And ever since then, my shoulder has been just little pains here and there, giving me problems. If I had gotten it looked at and taken care of it and fixed it way back then, maybe I wouldn't have had to go under the knife last week. Um, you know, but hindsight's 2020. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. You know, you know, and just like your gym, you know, when we look at things and like it's to me it's a thing of do it, like put in the little extra time up front, invest a little bit of time, invest a little bit of money, make sure you do it right the first time, and then because then you don't have to go back and undo stuff, and then you don't have to spend more money or more time or more energy or more effort. So that's the kind of stuff that frustrates me.
For sure.
So
It frustrates me as
so
well. My brain though, it goes, I mean, my brain goes to, thinking of a million things, thinking of the owners lying in bed with their wives, telling them, telling them all about me being at the gym. And then their wives who don't know me being like, do you think there's ever a chance of him being a liability? And then them
right.
being like, yeah, possibly. Cause like I'm there like for like on a Friday, I could be there for like an hour and 45 minutes. And like sometimes I'm there like by myself at the end, like of a workout, doing like jumping pull-ups, doing like weird, doing things that, could potentially like, you miss one, you land your face on the rack. Who knows what could happen? And I don't know, man. Like I just I want this to be clear. I don't think that they put black turf in there to get me to leave. I really don't think that that's the case, but your mind does
I
play
don't think
tricks
I
on
don't
you.
think honestly, dude, I don't think people are that smart.
I know what you mean. No, but no, that's interesting you say that because I even think like subconsciously, like it's like, oh, he's a liability. And then like the way that the way that the universe can speak to you is like you just do it, you do the thing without even thinking like, oh, we'll put this turf in and then it won't work out for him. I just think subconsciously sometimes, I don't know. I know the way that I'm treated there by like the people who aren't with me all the time, the people who and you just get this sense of like, I don't know. Like it'd be easier if he wasn't there, kind of thing. That's the feeling that I get sometimes, and maybe
Oh,
that's just in
100.
my head. Yeah,
Oh no, it's 100. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, it's 100%. You know, I've never been to your gym, but that's society in general.
right.
Unfortunately, it really sucks, man. Like, look, it like and this is one of the reasons why like rates of depression and mental illness, like mild forms of mental illness can ravage through the disability community, whether you're blind or in a wheelchair or you know anything along those lines. Access and just this feeling, these feelings of inadequacy, or
Right.
it would just be easier if I wasn't around.
Right.
you know it,
Exactly.
it it's a real thing. Like we deal with it all the time. I deal with it all the time in you know in even within the disability community itself, even like
Right.
even within the blindness community. Like why do people who have 2200 best corrected vision fight so hard to keep that 2200 best corrected vision? Because they don't want to be totally blind. They don't want to get down to the level where you're at, where they're relying only on those contrasts.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. For
they
sure.
definitely don't want to get down to my level where they got nada.
Nothing. Right. No, exactly, man. And I
Because
didn't want to get down to your level. Is what it was. You're right.
yeah. So but so even within our own communities, like there's still this this thing. And I think it's actually really healthy for you and I to be talking about this stuff, because I don't know,
I thought so.
for some reason, like we talk about this kind of shit, together, and then we put it out in the world. And I don't know, for some reason people keep watching our stuff, and maybe we're gonna change, maybe we're gonna hopefully shape the world's perceptions. And
Well,
I,
well,
I don't know.
I really did feel like it was important because I mean, even going back, okay, like over the weekend, I mean, I was anxious as shit, like being like, okay, Monday, I have to go into this completely new thing, not knowing what it's going to be like and not knowing if it
Yeah.
was going to just smack me in the face or if I was going to be like, oh, this wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
And
Come to find like,
and there was probably a little bit of both there. Like it was probably not as terrible, but it also was still really, it's still really stressful.
well, I definitely had you in my mind, like a lot of it. I was thinking a lot about you, like, going through a workout, like, you're not like you don't see a medicine ball like contrast on the floor and being like, oh, cool, that's where my stuff is. I can now walk
Right.
over to that. So I was thinking a lot about like you and how somebody would design like what you're doing and assist you through, because
Hmm.
even my trainer was like, we'll make it work, like we'll make the adjustments for whatever we need kind of thing, and he was awesome about it. And
Yeah.
but in my head at that point I'm just like, I don't want to have to, is that like that's where I was
Yeah.
at, like
Yeah.
um I go in Monday was like, the real problem, and this was interesting for me, but the real problem was how much I kept like squinting and blinking my eyes to refocus just to get something
Hmm.
was like genuinely painful. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
this is weird. Cause like I was so dizzy and trying to adjust. Cause at nighttime, like when I'm walking around, like, when it's dark out, everything just sounds like if I'm walking with a group of people, it just sounds like just voices, voices without a body kind of thing. Even
Yeah.
when I'm standing at the gym, like back when it was green turf, like let's say we'd be standing in a circle and my trainer would be like giving us all our workout kind of thing, and somebody would say something like, and I, my visual would focus on where that was coming from. I It was never just voices. This is the weird thing, for like I'm learning a lot about what I used to experience, because if like even not seeing detail of like, oh, that's a body where that voice is coming from, I could
Right.
still tell that there was something. Now
Right.
I was literally, dude, it's crazy. The all black, the walls, the floor, it just made everything feel like chaotic voices. Like it was
Yep.
just this, it was so strange because I was like, oh shit, this is like, I'm not saying like, trust me, it still didn't make me fully blind. I still wasn't totally blind. I get it. But at the same time, like, like like there was a medicine ball like right at my feet and I had no idea where it was. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm literally using my feet, like I'm standing up and I'm using my feet to feel where it is. And I've
Yep.
made the joke to my buddies and I'm just like, maybe they'll realize this was a bad decision when that's somebody's head and not a medicine ball. Like maybe
Maybe.
that'll be what it takes. Like, but at the
Maybe.
same time, then I, Tuesday, I wasn't, I just kind of more so accepted what it was. So I wasn't like squinting and trying to focus, like, which wasn't I didn't have eye pain Tuesday,
Right.
so it was like 5% better because I was like, just more in that like acceptance phase of like, oh,
Hmm.
cool. Like can't see, but you can still get a great workout. Like it's not
Hmm.
like,
Yeah.
so, and then, Tuesday, I'm still pushing sleds down the turf. And I was like, and then my positive was like, well, this obviously feels much better. Like I'm able to actually, there's traction now on the turf. So and the thing is, man, for me, it's like I go to this place to, and it's not, my reason isn't to be a positive light and a positive energy, but it's kind of one of the
No.
benefits of this place
Sure.
is like the friends, the camaraderie, and being not like a negative asshole. Like and like out,
100%.
yeah. So it's like um Monday was, Monday was a little tough. Tuesday, I was back to like my joyful, like happy self. Wednesday was great. Today was great. And like, Emily's just being like, how is it? Like in Monday, I was very honest with her. I really didn't say like, I didn't say anything to my mom or to David, like about like
Yeah.
how it like affected me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, like it, I mean, being, like I said, I walk around this place like it's like a home away from home, and being like almost like I don't know who's running at me, like being like, okay, am I walking with David to, like I was literally like having to be like, is this person walking with me to get to the next area? Like, dude, the way
Right.
it used to be with the contrast, like even to get to like the ergs, um I would know where they were located and
Right.
actually be able to like see the contrast of the white of the erg due to like just the openness of the feeling
Yeah.
of the green to the black to the white. I could
Yeah.
tell where they were from like 20 feet away walking towards them.
Yeah.
And now my shins kicked them. Like
Yep.
that's how severe of a difference. It was that drastic. I was like,
Yeah.
and it was very, it was shocking
Yeah.
how large of a change it was. But I don't know, man. Like for me, the win is because come last week when it was like the unknown, I was like, well, if it sucks, I'm not coming back. That was like my
Right.
mentality.
Right. Right.
And you know, I guess learning that I will persevere through this, and it's just another thing that's gonna. I mean, you know me, man. Like I talk about how for me a workout is about having that forced struggle. So it's like
Sure.
for me now, I'm like, okay, cool. It's just a little bit more of a struggle, and now I'm like, that's a good thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is a good thing. Like I think that so it's really funny. So I'm actually I'm giving a talk to at a conference that's going to be here at the training center in a few weeks.
Nice.
And the talk is, the topic they wanted me to talk about was resilience.
Yeah,
And, like you and I, like we deal with resilience every day.
we're experts.
Yeah, I would say yes, that we are.
Mhm.
And one of the key things about growth, resilience, having that resilience is, the formula is stress plus rest equals growth. So that's how
Mhm.
we get better. And like we have to keep seeking out those challenges, those little things, those that those chips on our shoulders and all that. But on the other hand, like uh, you know, we also want to optimize. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not going like we're not going to go back to horse and buggy when we have cars. You know, like
Yeah.
it's just no. And like for me, um, you know I for the longest time, just gritted my teeth and ground through workouts, doing treadmill workouts. And then like the only time I would get to run outside would be if I had a guide available. Sometime if I was really lucky, that might be once a week. If
Right.
I was unlucky, that might be a couple of days. I would get to run outside for the first time leading into a race. Well,
Yeah.
that affects my performance in a race. Like if the
Yeah.
more you run outside, the the better you're going to perform in a race. And so learning to so there is that like yeah, like I'm going to be tough. I'm just going to grind this out on the treadmill and jack it up to a 15% grade. And, it's just harder than running outside. That's true, but you're still not getting better at it. Like it's, you're not optimizing your circumstances. So for you, like, yes, it's, I think I think the character building, the resilience building, all of this is, taking away those contrasts and all that. It challenged you more. It challenged you serious. It challenged you mentally,
Right.
but and emotionally and all that. But in the long term, is that going to affect how you like, again, it's like for me, instead of just going back to, instead of spending the $85 to swim that 11:45, we took it down to, hopefully now I'm only spending $25 to swim that 11:45. You, on the other hand, you were spending $50. Now you're spending $60 or something like
It's
that.
true. It's true.
Just bit hurts. and takes away from your optimization, and thereby takes away from your overall growth and potential growth and performance. So
Right.
so just keep that kind of stuff in mind as well.
But
And that's the kind of stuff that I think we lose sight of.
no. I really agree with you. I think there is some optimization that is taken away. But at the
Mhm.
same time, for me mentally, if I can figure, which I think I am doing, it's like if I can, because I mean, for, even after Monday's workout, like Monday night, I mean, I'm going to sleep,
Yeah.
like literally dreading going back Tuesday.
Right.
But then I still went Tuesday, had a great workout. It was 5% better than Monday's was being
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
then the next day, same thing. And for me, it's like, if I can just get to the point, which I think I am getting there, of, and not like oh, I'll show them kind of way, even though there is always a little bit of that, but
For sure.
doing it more so for myself, of like, I can take this place that was my, because I mean, let's just call it what it is. It wasn't there was no it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard to go there. It was actually
Yeah.
like, it was, like I said, it was my happy place. But if
Yeah.
I can take my happy place and have them throw a wrench into that whole thing for me,
Hmm.
and still have it be my happy place, and have it be this thing that's like, it's not going to affect the optimization of my training. Like, it's not going to get in the way at all. Like, if I can have it be that, I, I'm the winner. Like, that's the thing, is like, I win if that's what I can turn this thing into.
Yeah.
And versus, it would be, I can't say that it would be easy to quit. I can't say that it would be easy to like be like, okay, guys, well, you really screwed up, and I'm now gonna just work out in my backyard. Like, that would not be easy for me, because of,
No.
dude, there's too many people involved. Like, that's the thing, is like, I care so much about the people who I work out
Yeah.
with. I mean, they really are. They're my morning friends. They're the people who I
Yeah.
start my day off with, and it's got to be started right, because, and to leave, man, like, everybody would know why I left, and
Hmm.
that, dude, it would really affect these people who care about me so much. Like, it would affect them
Sure.
emotionally. They would think
Oh
about these
yeah.
people who didn't take in consideration of what I asked them about 5 months ago, and
Yeah.
they'd probably have to leave. They'd be like, I can't do this. You ruined Jared's happy place. Like, it would really affect them emotionally.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's about being honest, because, on it, you can't just be like, oh, the new turf is great. It's just like, nah, it sucks, but, we're gonna, and honestly, I only told one person. I was like, I don't really like it. Like, other than
Yeah.
that, I've really just been keeping to myself about it. But
Well, now the whole world knows. So
it's fun. That's
nah.
No, I really wanted to tell you about it, because you really have been a major part of what's been on my mind about it. Because it's like, you know what, if Kyle's still gonna, got to do strength and conditioning. I mean, granted, I'm sure you're in the same kind of facility every time, and your surroundings. But the thing is,
Oh yeah.
I know my surroundings here too. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's just got a lot more closed in.
Yeah. No, I mean, and look, dude, that's valid, man. So like, so I would just encourage you, like, even though, like, like, just remember, it still affects you, man. Like, you know, so don't like your feelings and your sensations. They still matter.
Well, thank
Um,
you.
but
Thank you.
so yeah, you're welcome. That's what I'm here for. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
But
that's
no,
funny.
man. Yeah. So yeah, dude, that's it's yeah, life. I mean, we but at the end of the day, challenges and stuff get thrown at us, well, whether it be changing turf, or changing color, or surgery, or you know it, you
Just
know
roll with it.
the furniture getting moved around, whatever it may be, like, challenges get thrown our way, and like we have to learn to improvise and adapt, and to try to re-optimize. And you know sometimes there's so much stuff out of our control,
Yeah.
and sometimes we have to try and find just those little things that are in our control. And and at least for me, that's the kind of stuff that I find it kind of keeps my, my sanity. I'm like, okay, there's all this stuff got taken out of my control. What can I bring back into my control? What are the things that I can control? Well, I can control what time I get up in the morning. I can still control whether I make my bed or not. I can still control, all right, I can't use my left hand, which is, normally, the hand that I have I take my, help my dog in to take him out. Well, now I have to use my right hand, and I have to make a few adjustments and all that. So there's still we still have control. And so, and I find comfort in that. I find comfort in my routines and the little things that I can control. So, my coach always tells me, control the controllables. Just do the simple things to a high standard on a consistent basis. And, and that's essentially what you do at your gym. All you do is just do the basics, and you just do it consistently. And that's what has allowed you, to adapt to the new gym environment.
Yeah, it's all good. Like, that's the thing, is like, I've definitely worked it up more in my head than it needs to be, and I do that with everything. But it's
I mean, I do too. So it's what we do. It's what we do.
Dude, I've been very proud of seeing your podcasts coming out. How's that going?
Dude, it's fun.
Kicking it with the K train. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a project that I kind of I've been wanting to do for a long time. And honestly, doing blind sweaters over the last year or so. Shit, have we been doing this a year now or something? Damn close. Damn close to a year. Let's say at least 7 or 8 or 9 months or something like that. Like, how, just getting on camera and just shooting the shit with you gave me the confidence to be like, I can do this with almost anyone.
I don't need Jared.
Nah. Well,
he holds me back.
You bring me out. You bring me out of my shell. I'm for some reason I'm able to spout off to you, and put shit out there in the world that I otherwise would not put out there.
Dude, I think I know why though.
Probably.
I think the reason why is because no matter what you say, you'll always seem more sane than me. That's definitely the reason why. Because even you were like, let's think about the start of this episode. You're like, yeah, Percocet, I have an addictive personality. I'm like, oh, you didn't mix them with whiskey? I was like, oh, well, you screwed up there.
It's a good point.
Yeah. Wait, you couldn't feel your shoulder, but you didn't also not want to feel your face? I don't understand.
Oh my gosh, man. I'm crying.
Kyle's a good guy, guys. Kyle's a good guy.
Oh my gosh. No, so but yeah, I mean, dude, like, you and I mean, we've done how many episodes of Blind Sweaters now? 11, 12, 25.
1100. 1100.
Something like that. But yeah, like, trust me, I'm gonna have you on the podcast here pretty soon. I'm just kind of booked solid right now, so I gotta find a way to get you on. But because you gotta tell your story and how we met, and then we'll just devolve into what we normally do, which is kind of fun. So
have you been getting some good feedback with it?
I think so. I mean, obviously, like, I'm doing all of the, I am doing zero editing or, anything like that. So, yes, that part is all kind of rough. Like, it's basically just raw audio being, spliced together in an app that, so I'm doing my best. But like, I'm not an audio engineer or anything like that. And,
That's all we can do, man.
and so I'm doing the best I can. And, I'm, sorry, I had an alarm set for 9 a.m. apparently.
You're like, and this is over.
No. I had an alarm set for 9 a.m. and it happened to be a barking dog and it's starting to yell in my headset here. That was surprising.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
That was fun. But no, so it was, and then unfortunately the headset and microphone that I wanted to use to record my podcast that broke. So I was scrambling and like ordered, a headset from Amazon. And so the first 2 episodes were not so good. And then I ordered another headset from Amazon, and that's the headset that I'm using now, but it's still not perfect. So, probably just need to find a better headset with a wind, and get a windscreen and, all that stuff to improve the audio quality.
You sound good. You sound really good right now.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think as long as I'm not like blowing into the microphone like I just did there, like, it'll like I can occasionally get a little bit of feedback in my headset, and it'll disrupt the flow of conversation and all that. So as long as I'm not breathing too heavily or that kind of stuff, it worked. Yeah. I don't have all the fancy cameras and recording equipment that you do, man. So like I'm working on like true shoestring budget here with my iPhone and a $20 headset, man. So
yeah, that's actually all I have. You can't tell that I have anything higher quality than that. This whole thing is on my iPhone as well.
All right, good stuff.
That's what David told me, at least.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
Yeah,
but
it's been fun though. Like you've enjoyed the conversations you've been having.
I have. It's been really awesome just reconnecting with so many people from my past. And like kind of diving in and learning more about their stories. And it kind of like, so like, I mean, dude, like we become and we're influenced by the people that we surround ourselves with.
For
and and I have had so many man, people are just trying to call me nonstop. My mother just tried calling on Facebook Messenger. Come on, people! I'm trying to record an episode with my buddy Jared here.
She's like, I know you're talking to Jared. End it.
Yeah, probably.
he's holding you back.
Something like that. But no. So like, so we are the, we're influenced and we're molded by the people that we spend time with, whether that is our parents, our siblings, our friends, our significant others. And like I acknowledge that I've been pretty successful. I've had some successes over the course of my life, whether that be, in sport or, I'm starting to have some, I'm starting to, venture off into, launching these things like, our show and, kicking it with the K train and, having these tiny little business ventures, it's stuff like that. So like I'm having, a modicum of success, but, that's in large, and there's a part that is definitely, it's me that puts in the work and all that, but I wouldn't be willing to put in the work and do all this stuff if I hadn't learned from all the people around me. And so the idea for this podcast was I want to introduce everyone to the people that have influenced my life. And obviously there are some people, I've been very fortunate to rub elbows and be friends with some really, really influential people that, that a lot of people, that a lot of people know about, whether that be, my buddy Eric Weinmeier, who's, world famous, or, um, or, my friend Melissa Stockwell, who's, really well known, in the, in the endurance community and all that, or, just some people that are known in certain circles. I've been influenced by all these people, but there's so many people that,
Right.
I look and I'm like, man, I've been guided by, I have friends, like people that I count as friends who are Olympians. I have, people that I count as friends, people that I went to middle school and high school with, who are now like, big time, I did an interview with my buddy Patrick Young, who, who was a big time college basketball star, and is now is now a basketball analyst on the SEC network. It's just like, wow, like I'm connected with some really cool, amazing people. And I think their stories need to be shared.
Right.
But then there are so many people in my life that aren't in the public eye, that that have influenced me, and whose opinions and their mannerisms and stuff have influenced and impacted me so much that their stories need to be told, and their stories need to be shared, and and all that. And so it's been really cool chatting with people, getting to know their stories a little bit more. And so it's fun, it's cool, it's exciting. We've got more and more, I've got more and more episodes scheduled, and coming out, and so many more, so many more people to interview and stuff. So it's fun, man. I'm loving it. It's
That's awesome.
it's keeping me engaged. So,
Dude,
and
you
like
know
I
what's
said,
interesting? What?
got to bring you on at some point.
Oh, dude, I'm happy to come on. But
I
dude,
know.
you know what's interesting? And you just sparked a thought that I have to say this, because and this is like, it's not an excuse kind of thing. It's just, this is a factual thought that I just had. Eric, your buddy Eric, what's his Weinmeier? Is that,
Yeah,
how do you say it? Okay.
Weinmeier. Yep.
Eric is somebody that, when I was losing my sight, you are totally right. He is world famous.
Mhm.
All right. Like when everybody, I mean, when I was losing my sight in 2001, he's like,
Yeah.
he was the guy who everybody was like, oh, well, there's this guy, Eric, who climbed Mount Everest. And
Oh yeah.
dude, it is so fascinating to think about. Okay. And it's a hard thing to navigate what I'm trying to say right now, but Eric was famous for doing things that a lot of blind people do now, but he did it pre-social media.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because what you and I are doing, it's like, we're basically like, just, we're putting ourselves out there. We're
Yeah.
having conversations. You're an Olympic athlete. I'm a musician who's toured all over, Europe and the
Yeah.
UK and America, and put myself out there since I was young.
Yeah.
Pre-social media, becoming a world famous blind adventure guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying that it was easier. I'm just saying that there wasn't the competition that there is today
Oh, for
to
sure.
you have to, and I'm not saying like, oh, I hope he understands that, because that's not my point at all. My point is simply like, for us to navigate these waters of like, could somebody discover us? Can
Yeah. I
hey,
mean, yeah.
why don't we have 200,000 views? Why don't we have, it's
Yeah.
it really is a harder time now because it is so saturated.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure, dude. Like, yeah, I mean, my podcast, across the 5 or 6 episodes that I have out there already. Granted, I think I have like 12 or 13 uploaded to YouTube. Because I upload them immediately to YouTube, but then I
Uh-huh.
schedule them on the
Right.
on like Apple and
Yeah.
Spotify and all that to release weekly, or sometimes I have 2 release in a week. Um, yeah, I mean, across the straight up audio platform, I've only got like 240 listens total, and like
Yeah. And
so, but yeah, and that's like, you know, and like if I had launched this same pod, if I was, if we rewind 10 years,
right.
this podcast
Exactly.
probably has like 100,000. So yeah, the market is, we're trying, you and I, we're trying to do something in a market that is very saturated, but it's what we love to do.
For sure.
We have a
For
we have a
sure.
passion, we have a passion for it.
And that's not,
You
yeah,
know,
exactly. Exactly. Because I'm not
I
making
look,
excuses. I'm not making excuses. I'm
no,
just saying back
absolutely not.
when I was losing my sight, when you were trying to find your way, and it was like you would go to a ophthalmologist and they would be like, oh, it's not so bad. There's this guy, Eric, who climbed Mount Everest. It was like that. And there was just one guy. He was like, he was a prophet in a way. Like he was
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Um, but Eric built upon what other blind, the blind people that he learned from, I mean, Stevie Wonder and, Ray Charles and, Terry, but he learned from other guys. Terry Fox was he wasn't blind, but he was a cancer, um, he was
yeah,
a cancer patient who decided to run across Canada to raise money for cancer research on his prosthetic leg, and like this is way before running prosthetics and all that. So Eric took inspiration from that, and you know built upon, and now you and I, and other blind people are
right.
doing stuff, and so it is a good thing, and
Oh, for
sometimes
sure.
it was on the one hand it was easier, but on the other hand it was also a lot harder because
For him on a
yeah,
personal level.
for him on a personal level, because
Yes.
there wasn't a whole lot of blind guys doing this crazy stuff, and like you know I it it you know like he tells the story. It's like you know you call up someone and you want to go climbing, and oh man, how many dentist appointments do you have in a week? Like, you know, um, so but like so him laying the path,
Right.
other people laying the path before him. We're building on what those people did. We're laying the path, and showing other people 10, 20, 30 years down the road what we did, and we're just we're trying to we're just trying to show the world how to be inclusive, how to challenge themselves, how sometimes it's not as dire as we think or make it out in our heads, how we can be resilient, um, all of that kind of stuff. So it's just
I met
interesting.
I met Stevie Wonder. Talking Tabs was at a conference out in California, and
Oh,
Stevie Wonder
nice.
walked like he was walking past our booth, and it was like the seas had parted for him.
Oh, wow.
And they're they brought him over to our booth, and I got to meet him.
Oh, that's
It
awesome.
it was such a disappointment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude, it was like I don't know, because I'm this newly blind musician, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy's gonna give me the key. Like
Yeah.
I was just happy, like I was almost waiting for him to just be like, all right, here's the secret. And
Yeah. But again,
what what
oh no, go ahead.
no,
Continue.
no,
So
but
my bad.
the finishing of my thought was just literally going to be we're all humans, and it was like him being in this crowded room of, it's like he had as much anxiety probably going on being there as I did standing there meeting him. Like it
Yeah.
just sucked all around for both of us. But like me,
Yeah.
I was like, hi, it's so nice to meet you. And he's just like, it it's like it's uncomfortable for any blind person to be in a room with thousands of people at a
Sure.
conference. I mean, yeah, so like I don't know. It was like disappointing because I was like this young kid, but at the same time, like if I was in his position, Would I have done anything different? I think so, but that doesn't mean that he was obligated to be different towards me. Does that make sense?
Right. Nah, that makes sense. But you know, I mean, we also gotta remember Stevie Wonder, was a musical prodigy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the dude was literally a musical prodigy. And then like, like you weren't a prodigy. Like, some people think you may be because you're so freaking talented
No,
now.
I'm a different, yeah, no, I'm a different thing. I'm not
Yeah, you're
if
totally.
I was a born artist like he was, like being like a 13-year-old, like just, could play any instrument and be that
Yeah.
creative as a young person, you don't know what that kind of thing, what that would do to your personality.
Oh no, no, no.
Right.
And you were also saying like it was almost like he was it was going to be like here's the secret. And at the end of the day, what we learn down, as we get older and maybe wiser and all that, we figure out, hey, there's not really a secret. Like, just knuckle down, practice, hard work,
No, dude,
dedication. Like,
there is no
there's no
secret.
secret. Like,
No, I just wanted him to bring me off to like a room and be like, all right, this is the blind record label, and we're here to sign you and give you $1 million contract right now.
yeah. Oh
That
yeah.
that's
Trust me.
the secret.
We're all still hoping for that one, man. We're all
Yeah,
still hoping for that one.
I'll sing Feliz Navidad. I don't care.
Yeah, like seriously.
Jose
Ah.
Jose Feliciano wrote me a letter when I was young, which was
Oh really?
such a beautiful letter. Yeah, it was awesome.
Ah, that's awesome,
Yeah,
dude. That's
yeah.
so cool.
It literally just said Feliz Navidad on it.
That's awesome.
No, it was really
That's
cool though.
awesome. That's cool, man. That's cool.
Dude, this has been
Uh,
awesome.
this has been a
This
fun
is
one, man. This has been a fun one. We should, on the one hand, we take way too long between episodes, but on the other hand, we have so much funny content.
yeah. Like the thing is, if we did this every week, it would you'd
People would
sometimes it
get
would be
bored.
like people get bored. We might not know exactly like, yeah, did we say anything of value? But like today, I mean, your whole conversation about your shoulder and how much that's been affecting you for the last few, many years, and the give and take of the rehab to, basically coming out on top by the end of the year. I mean, that was some valuable stuff. And then
Well,
me about
and
the
then going
turf.
you about the turf, man. I mean, that dude, like that's. I mean, don't discount that. That's serious. I mean, that's we had a, like, this was kind of one
Dude,
of our more serious episodes.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I think we struck some gold here.
Dude, of course we did. It only took us, a year to find some gold, but I think we got it.
It's okay. Well, dude, before it's been fool's gold. Now we're hitting the
Yeah,
real stuff.
yeah. We were hitting pyrite before. Now we're getting to the real stuff.
Well, dude, let's do this soon. I don't know when, but we will do
Absolutely.
this soon. I have
Uh,
Ali's wedding. It's Ali's wedding weekend. This whole
ooh,
weekend. I'm the best
ooh,
man, so I'm
oh.
yeah. I got some
Hey,
obligations.
he picked you to be best man.
Dude,
Like,
he's an absolute moron.
I mean, do we need to check him into? Do we need to
Yes.
check him into a mental
Yes.
facility? Like,
Yeah. I'm in charge of holding their rings. Like let's just be honest, they couldn't have picked a worse person.
this is a terrible plan.
I'm gonna put them on Craigslist right as they give them to me.
No, eBay, man, eBay. Like,
Yeah.
we'll start the bidding at $5,000, $5,000, $5,000. Do I hear 5,500, 5,500, 5,500? Do I hear 6,000? Oh, there's.
And then I sell them and have to pull them out of my ass because that's where I'll be keeping them.
Oh my God,
All
I'm
right,
so terrible.
my brother, have a great rest of your day. Please,
Same to
thank
you,
you.
bro.
Click the like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Blind
Please,
Sweaters is here to stay. Check out
absolutely.
Kicking It with the K Train, Kyle's new podcast, and he's
Yep.
got some great stuff coming out there. And maybe I'll be a guest on there too, which is very exciting.
You will be,
And
man. You will be.
check out my stuff. I mean, if you want.
Yeah,
But
no, seriously, check. Jared does some really cool stuff on
who
Twitch,
knows what I do?
YouTube, all
Yeah.
that. Check out the Ultimate Fighter. You know, his podcast there. Really good stuff. So we got stuff. We got stuff coming down the pipeline. So like Jared said, hit that like button, smash that like button,
Smash!
hit the bell for notifications so that you get notified whenever either one of us posts up a new video, new podcast, anything like that. Follow us on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the whole kit and caboodle.
Kyle, it's great to talk to you, man.
Great to talk to you too, Jared. We'll catch you later, man. See ya.
Later.